In the world of Italian football, certain names carry with them legacies etched into history. Among these, the name Inzaghi commands respect. Filippo and Simone Inzaghi, once prolific forwards on the pitch, had long transitioned into touchline tacticians. Yet in the 2024/2025 season, they orchestrated something truly magical, a dual resurgence that not only revived clubs but rekindled belief in Italian coaching excellence. This is the tale of a season that saw Filippo Inzaghi revive the spirit of Pisa SC in Serie B, and Simone Inzaghi script a masterclass with Inter Milan, one that nearly brought the Champions League back to the Nerazzurri. It's a tale of strategy, sibling rivalry, mutual admiration, and the power of footballing intelligence passed from pitch to dugout. When Filippo Inzaghi took over Pisa Sporting Club in the summer of 2024, the challenge was formidable. The club had finished 13th in Serie B the previous season, safe from relegation, but far from threatening promotion. Fans were growing disillusioned. The historic Stadio Arena Garibaldi echoed more with the sighs of disappointment than chants of hope. But Filippo, known as a football romantic and student of Italian football heritage, saw potential where others saw mediocrity. Pisa has soul, he told the press during his unveiling. It needs direction, identity, belief. His plan was simple on paper but bold in execution. Build a team that plays aggressive pressing football while maintaining the defensive discipline that had been his hallmark at clubs like Venezia and Reggina. He brought in young, hungry talents, like 20-year-old forward Elia Di Paola from Espal, and a pair of Serie A loanees including Inter's Primavera midfielder, Andrea Bonetti. His assistant, former defender Matteo Rubin, helped drill the team on spatial awareness and compactness in transitions. In training, Pippo would pause drills mid-flow, drawing out runs and patterns on the whiteboard, demanding mental clarity before physical execution. The result? Pisa opened the season with a stunning 2-0 away win over Cremonese. They followed that with a 3-1 comeback against Brescia, showcasing resilience that had been absent in prior campaigns. But the real turning point came in November. Pisa, unbeaten in 11 games, faced Palermo in a top-of-the-table clash. But the match turned into a disaster. A red card, a disallowed goal, and an injury to key centre-back Luperto saw Pisa fall 3-0. Suddenly, the media buzzed with doubt. Inzaghi's bubble bursts, headlined La Gazzetta. Yet in the post-match conference, Filippo's calm demeanor surprised many. Even the best symphonies have moments of dissonance, he said. We'll retune. What the press didn't know was that behind the scenes, Pippo had introduced a novel concept from his studies in coaching psychology, shadow sessions. These were simulated matches in empty stadiums with full tactics, cameras, and analysts giving real-time corrections. It helped the players refine intuition and improve communication. By December, Pisa was back on track, finishing the calendar year top of Serie B. But while Filippo was weaving his miracle in Tuscany, his brother Simone was conducting a symphony of his own, at a far grander scale. Inter Milan had narrowly lost out in the 2023/2024 Champions League final to Manchester City. Heartbroken but defiant, the board placed their trust again in Simone Inzaghi, his fourth full season in charge. The pressure was enormous. Fans demanded silverware. Rivals like Juventus and AC Milan were rearming. Simone needed to evolve. Over the summer, Inter had added depth with signings like Brazilian winger Marcos Leonardo and Italian playmaker Tommaso Baldanzi. Simone pivoted from his tried-and-true 3-5-2 to a flexible 3-4-2-1, one that allowed greater fluidity in attack and rapid defensive transitions. The results were staggering. Inter swept through the group stage of the Champions League, topping a group that included Arsenal and Feyenoord. Lautaro Martinez, now club captain, flourished with 14 goals in 16 games. Nicolo Barella, whom Simone called the lungs of our ambition, was in Ballon d'Or form. But it wasn't just results, it was the style. Inter played with flair and steel. Every player knew their role. Simone's drills focused on positional memory, where players were trained to understand zones rather than fixed positions. This allowed quick adaptability against different formations. By February, Inter led Serie A by 6 points and were into the Champions League quarterfinals. But fate had a cruel twist in store. March brought chaos. In a 1-1 draw against Napoli, both Alessandro Bottoni and Denzel Dumfries picked up injuries. Weeks later, a resurgent Bayern Munich awaited them in the UCL quarters. Simone faced a dilemma: maintain his formation with second-choice players, or reinvent the system. He did neither. Instead, he adapted. In the first leg at Allianz Arena, Inter employed a hybrid system, shifting from 3-4-2-1 in possession to a 4-2-3-1 defensively. Acerbi moved into midfield when needed, and Darmian doubled as both fullback and auxiliary winger. The match ended 2-2, with Lautaro scoring a crucial away goal. At San Siro, the return leg was a masterclass in tactical patience. Simone's substitutions turned the tide. A 75th minute switch brought on Arnautovic and Carlos Augusto. Within 5 minutes, a cross found Arnautovic for the winner. Inter were in the semi-finals. That same week, back in Pisa, Filippo's side confirmed their place in the promotion playoffs after a gritty 1-0 win over Catanzaro. It was the club's best finish in 2 decades. Simone Inzaghi's Inter Milan faced Atletico Madrid in the Champions League semi-final. Diego Simeone, the master of dark arts football, stood in the way. The two-legged tie was brutal. A 1-1 draw in Madrid set the stage for San Siro's drama. On match day, the Inzaghi brothers exchanged texts. "Pippo, calm like when you were a striker. Don't let Cholo rattle you. Simone, you focus on Pisa. I'll tame the beast." Tame it he did. In a match of inches, Inter edged past Atletico 2-1 thanks to a stunning volley from Barella and a last-minute save by Jan Sommer. Simone fell to his knees as the final whistle blew. Champions League final. Meanwhile, Filippo's Pisa triumphed in the playoffs against Parma and then Como. In the final against Spezia, Pisa won 2-1 with Di Paola scoring a brace. The city erupted. Pippo, drenched in champagne, was humble. "The boys did it. I just guided them." Back in Milan, all eyes were on Wembley. The final, Inter Milan versus Real Madrid. A dream fixture. A nightmare in disguise. Real, led by a rejuvenated Mbappe and the brilliance of Bellingham, struck first. Inter fought back. Baldanzi equalized in the 54th minute. The match swung like a pendulum. Extra time arrived. At 117 minutes, a looping cross into the box found Arda Güler, who nodded it past Sommer. 2-1 Real Madrid. Heartbreak again. Yet, as Inter players fell to the turf, the traveling Nerazzurri fans chanted Simone's name. At the press conference, Simone was asked if he felt like a failure. "Failure?" he smiled. "We took Inter back to Europe's elite. And we're not done. Not even close." By June 2025, both Inzaghi brothers were national heroes of a sort. Filippo had taken Pisa to Serie A for the first time since 1991. Simone, despite Champions League heartbreak, secured a domestic double, winning both Serie A and the Coppa Italia. The board extended his contract till 2028. In an interview with Sky Italia, they were asked if they ever imagined such a season. "We dreamt of goals as kids," Pippo said. "Now we dream of tactics." "And trophies," Simone added. The Inzaghi brothers, once slender forwards feeding off scraps, had become footballing visionaries. From Pisa's old towers to Milan's glittering lights, they had shown that success is not born in comfort, but crafted in chaos. And above all, they had proven that brotherhood, both literal and footballing, can build legacies that last far beyond the final whistle. Please subscribe, like, comment and share for more interesting stories.